little foggy yet. Ty just got here. She said people were idiots. Most of the way was about, she said, 2 miles visibility, but you know, it's not light out yet either, so I guess we can make out cars coming down the hill over there, and that's 3/4 of a mile. That doesn't get 2 mile visibility, but anyway. So she's a little later than she was going to be. Truck's supposed to be here in about an hour to load up, and we got to feed first. But yeah, she texted me earlier. She said she had to get here to get a change of clothes because apparently all her stuff at home was in the wash and didn't get dried. So, and that would be the old lady in there complaining. I think she's worse than Tahoe, but or not Tahoe, Buffalo. But Buffalo was complaining a little bit. So anyway, hopefully the fog lifts a little bit because, you know, I've backed back there in the dark and in the fog and in the dark fog, and I know where I'm going. That's where we got to start, is back there. There's a little hint of a sunrise. That's about all you're going to see. Fog lifted some. See the top of the hill over there now. Couldn't hardly see the road earlier. And he said 8 o'clock this morning, and he's not a morning person, but he says, you know, I might be a little late with the fog, and he's actually coming from the other side of the hill in the next valley over.
And it's foggy.
And it's probably socked in hard over there.
Said it was really foggy.
Oh, yeah, Ron goes through that way to go to work. Old Ty was really foggy. But cows are separated, and 2 in the tub, 3 below it.
Papers are all done for today and tomorrow.
Yeah, look,
I just need the numbers because I can't remember all the numbers for sure that are going tomorrow.
She's been, yeah, we got to figure that out anyway. That's in the house. She's been filling out transportation slips. In Oregon, you're required to have a transportation slip to haul cattle, which has always gotten me because most of the time you get to the, well, even when we take them to freezer camp, there's a book of transportation slips. They are required, whether it's freezer camp or the auction, they are required to have your transportation slip when you drop the animals off.
Even if you're going next door, for instance, like our neighbor is getting, he'll get Tahoe and Buffalo, the pair of them together.
By law, to go a 1/4 mile down the road, once we leave the driveway, we have to. And which was fun when we used to have the neighbors, and we'd take 20, 30 steers down there and then sneak them out of there as customers wanted them. And we ran a bull and the heifers down there for years. So, you know, we made 10, 15 trips a year. But, I mean, 1/4 mile stretch of road here. Cop wants to stop us, we'll fill one out in front of him, tell him what he can do with it. But, no, if you got to go any distance, I mean, if you get stopped for anything, if they pull you over because you didn't use your turn signal, if the cop knows their job, they are required to ask to see your transportation slip.
This is Oregon. Well, the DOT officer doesn't know his fucking job.
The DOT officer doesn't even know how to do that.
But more than one now.
And give you another idea on those. Oh, when I was a little younger than her, I showed all over the frickin' country. And we hit port of entry in the state of Washington. By law, if you're hauling livestock, you have to stop. They have to check and make sure what you actually have on. They have to check, and crossing state lines, you have to have health papers from the vet. They're required to check that. I pull beside the scale, take all my paperwork in. The guy's going, "What's this for?" I said, "I got a load of cattle. I'm from Oregon." "Yeah, so?" I said, "By law," and a big, huge sign right outside their door, you know, one you see from the highway, says that all trucks transporting livestock are required to stop for an inspection. Meaning, not a truck inspection, but meaning papers, and compare the papers to the animals. Well, I mean, that's port of entry. They should know. And that was a senior officer that I was dealing with. I had to explain his own laws to him. Anyway, that's enough gabbing. Yeah, it's light enough. Ty was worried it was going to be too dark for him to see the back around up there. It's light enough. We're going to try something different over here. I've thought about it before, and he mentioned it last night because he likes to use the slide door on his tailgate. Because most of the time he's backing up to an alley. Well, you know, we can't back up to the chute here. Things are in the way. So what we do is this panel is staked in the ground, so this one swings off it. We'll swing this one out, and it'll meet the corner of the trailer, right at the gate latch, about right where the dog poop is. And then we bring that green gate in and use the tailgate between that and the tailgate. Then you use the tailgate to try to crowd them in, and we'll bring those in. What we're going to try today is that usually gets hooked to this one when it's over here anyway. We'll probably do that. And I'm going to bring 2 more panels over because they're right at the other end of the barn, the old wash rack. And we're going to come off here. It's going to take 2 to do it no matter what. But, you know, I know it should go a lot easier that way. We've had issues. It happens. And these 2 put themselves in timeout. Well, at least one of them. Where the hell did the other one go? Oh, yep. They're both in here. You thought Big Girl was really long for a minute, didn't you? Why don't you go forward instead of pushing her up to you? Hear all the noise? Yeah, there goes the first load. He'd come back for another load here today, but he's got a load to get out of Newburgh. That was already a set deal. So he snuck us in ahead of them. And he'll be back for the rest of the opens tomorrow. Except for one, that one with the hair patch in her eye. Her and Maury get that one because they got extra meat customers.
Yeah, my licorice Christmas present.
Yeah, her licorice Christmas present has a partner when they go in. Harriet and Licorice will go to freezer camp together. But do a couple things here and come back and separate the others so they're done. Otherwise, you know, try and do that in the morning's pain in the ass.
What makes it hairy licorice?
Oh God, somebody dropped the licorice on the floor in our trailer with all the dogs.
That's what it sounds like, Harriet and licorice.
Anyway, so that much is done. I should mention we did not put the panels the way we were going to, because it's easier to let one out of the back if you open the whole gate. And, you know, where we had to let one out, then bring them all back in. So we just did it like we usually do. George's idea, not mine. So I think tomorrow, though, we're going to try setting the panels up so all they can do is go right straight into the slide gate. Because we'll run the ones into the front all together and get the slam gate shut, and then bring the other ones in. Because we spent a little time screwing around out here, but not too bad. And it's almost empty, so we'll get rid of this and get our other list for tomorrow's load. What fun. We got quite a few pregnants out, but trying to get the rest of the open separated. Easier today than it'll be tomorrow, because tomorrow we separate the shortbreads because they're leaving Sunday. But it's kind of nice. Dr. Zach went and marked them all for us when he did it, but unfortunately, especially the ones that were marked with a red O, meaning open, they're hard to see, and some of the green P's, meaning pregnant, are no longer on there, or they're just hard to see. Because, like, these 3 right here, I can't see anything on them. She's got a remnants of a green. Well, I'm not sure I can fix this bugger. At least not the way it is. That wire pulled off near as I can tell about where my fingernail is. That's right where the end of that comes to. And then my phone rings. It's Becky, and she didn't want to talk apparently. Anyway, you know, one would think that the one on this side would be the contact on it. Nah, it really doesn't matter. There's probably spiraled in there anyway. This one makes full continuity to that one. This one does never get full continuity. It's connects a little bit, but not like it should. So I don't know. I might be able to shorten it up, and if I can figure out how to redo that, we'll see. Might just be cheaper to get a new one. I don't know. I mean, hell, the whole thing was only like $39. I lubed the hell out of it, worked the hell out of it. Sitting in the shop playing with it, it would never come all the way back up. So I found a piece to weld onto the pedal and was going to weld that on and hook a spring to it. Got that all figured out. Had to move this so I could do that. And when you push both in, if you slip your foot off that one, the pressure surge brings it all the way back up on its own. So I don't know. Maybe we'll leave it for now. If it's an issue, I got the piece sitting there on the welder with the spring, ready to go. So now it's ready to go. Oh, and the yard ornament's not there. I mean, the little Freighlander's not there. It's over parked below the shop at the moment. I took it for a spin, went to the end of the road, around the block on the highway, and come back. It's about 3 miles round trip. Everything worked fine. So I remembered I wanted to do something to actually make the horn work, because it doesn't have an actual air horn. It's got a little air electric horn on it. And the wires are messed up. So my plan was to cut the corrosion out and fix that so it'll actually work consistently. And now I'm going to go do that. Howdy mail call. I got a message the other day from my cousin Scott. He says, hey, I got something you should have in the mail by Friday. Hold on, don't turn it yet.
Okay.
He recently went through some life changes. Moved from California to Nevada, and well, it was time to put new plates on his pickup.
You ready?
So he wants these on the wall. That's where they're going to go.
I'll do one.
So
Thank you, Scott.
Scott, I know you watch once in a while, and I'm sure you'll check it out. So
Love you, Gus.
thank you, cousin. That one, even though it says California on it, will probably go up there rather than up there.
I'm thinking to the left of it.
Maybe we can get some red paint and go over that.
No.
We can leave it like that. He wasn't one of the issues in California anyway. And I'm still thinking about how to fix that. I might cut it back and redo the end. I don't know. And now we're working on this. Those aren't in the best shape. But what I noticed when I had it in here before is where we're spliced up there. Just look at those juicy splices. That wire is probably not good till back to my fingernail. And I don't know why it's got to have the extra 10 feet of wire. So that's what I'm going to work on. It kind of tried to work when I brought it in here. It kind of went, God, I didn't show you everything. Redid the wires on that, and it works, but I think the little air horn's getting tired. But it works. It's enough to be legal. And we just plugged lights in and couldn't get them to work. Always had trouble with the plug-in for that. Because it's a different plug-in than it is for that trailer. Because that trailer, the brake circuit on that plug is for backup lights, which is how that truck is wired. And the same circuit is the trailer brakes on that one. So anyway, I think I broke the plug in when I plugged it in, but the lights are working. I blew the female plug, or the female half part with the pins. I blew it out the back of the housing. Good thing we just took 2 of them off of those pickups before they left. I think there's another extra one anyway, but lights are all working, horns working. Truck seemed to do okay on the road earlier, so we better fire right up Sunday and pull some steers, right? And speaking of steers, we've got one customer we've had for many years. The guy used to buy a whole one and give to his employees and have a big cookout party with him. And then he was buying, sometimes he'd buy 2 whole ones. We've been doing 1.5. Well, I don't know why, but he backed out this year. And another one, of course, the thing is between the ones we have here and our neighbors, because they all kind of go together. They usually try to get buyers, but usually half the time their steers go to our buyers. We got 2.5 steers yet to sell. Got a few directions we're working on making that happen. And, half of them go in Sunday and half of them go in another week. Makes it fun. And George made it to the auction with that load, unloaded them all good, so everything's good there. We'll see him in the morning for the rest, and we'll see him Sunday when he comes to load those shortbreads up for the other guy. So that's our day. Thanks for watching. Hope you all had a good Friday. Hope everybody has a great Saturday and a great weekend to boot.